What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover just about everything. And today we got a movie review coming at you. We're talking about You People, the new movie on Netflix starring Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill, and Lauren London. And first things first, this movie was a bit of a roller coaster ride for me. After seeing the trailer for this movie and seeing Jonah Hill having that sit-down conversation with Eddie Murphy, the two of them are back and forth. And you get the premise of the film, which is this white guy dating a black woman, and he's meeting her father, and they're having this conversation. And you can tell that very premise sets itself up for a lot of great comedy. The clashing of cultures and sort of that awkward dating phase when you're meeting the parents for the first time. That's kind of the idea that I got about this movie when I watched the trailer, and I was like, man, this looks like it's going to be really, really funny. It's good to see Jonah Hill doing a little bit of comedy again. It's good to see Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, by the way, looks fantastic for his age, doesn't he? I mean, that is amazing. And in contrast, Jonah Hill not looking great for his age. I don't know what was wrong, if Jonah was just tired filming this movie, or maybe it's just the facial hair. I don't know, but he looks older than he should. The dude isn't just like a whole lot. I think he's probably like 8 to 10 years older than me or something like that. Like, he looks older than Eddie Murphy somehow in this movie. It was a little off-putting, but as the movie goes, it's not really something that you notice a whole lot too much more. It's just something that stood out to me when I was watching the trailer. I was like, man, I know he's lost weight and he's going through a lot of body changes, and maybe that's had an effect. You know, I don't know. But it is good to see him in a comedy role again. I'm not trying to like hate on his appearance or anything like that. Just an observation I made and something that stuck out to me in that first trailer that I watched. But yeah, it looked like a great premise for a movie. It looked like it was going to be a whole lot of fun. It looked like it was going to be funny. It was one of those movies I watched the trailer for, and I said, okay, when this comes out on Netflix, I'm watching this movie. And then I start the movie, and it gets going. And look, you got to understand, in a world where every movie, every TV show is just completely oversaturated with political commentary, political ideology, I am so sick of it that any hint of it in a movie immediately turns me off. And within the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of this movie, I was like, that's what this is going to be, and I'm going to end up turning this movie off because I don't want to sit through an hour and a half or however long this movie is of just political commentary about, you know, black people and white people and, you know, division. I'm sick of that division between people, and I didn't want to see a movie about division. I just didn't want to. And so as the movie is going and they're leaning really hard into stereotypes from both sides, I'm like, man, I just, you know, I don't know. This isn't my brand of comedy, you know. Just it's not. It came off as hateful and resentful in the first little bit. And maybe that was just me, but that's the way it came off. And like I said, this movie was a roller coaster for me, so hang on. But the first little bit came off resentful, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. But then the story keeps going, and I held on to it. And legitimately, the movie just keeps getting better. And let me start by saying this. When Jonah Hill and Lauren London are on their first date, and there's a little bit of a montage of them getting to know each other a little better, all I could think was, these two have no chemistry together. Something about their interaction seemed fabricated at first. But as the movie went on, those two really won me over, like a lot. Their relationship gets more complex, and the conversations that they have are more real. I appreciate that their conversations that they're having when they're discussing the issues between their family members seem like very real conversations that two people who are trying to make a difficult cultural relationship work, two people that are trying to make that work, these conversations they're having seem like real conversations that people would have, and I really appreciated that. And the further the movie went, the more I really liked their relationship with each other, and it became more natural. It was a little bit more organic. You know, it was a little bit more real, and I felt that relationship grew on screen from start to finish, and that was one of the things that kept me hanging on to the movie. Lauren London is a fantastic actress, and someone, I'm not sure if I've seen her in a movie before. Maybe I have somewhere, but certainly not a name I was familiar with. But after the movie, I had to figure out what her name was because I thoroughly enjoyed her performance in this movie. I thought she was fantastic. Julia Louis-Dreyfus in this film is the most cringe-inducing, obnoxious parent ever. And she's so bad in these social interactions. And Lauren London plays off of her so well, trying to be sweet, trying to be understanding, and just kind of taking her crap for so long in the movie that when she finally has that moment where she confronts her about it, it's such a breath of fresh air to see her finally like put her foot down and tell her how she's being treated. And like that was such a nice moment. And then the flip side of that coin is Eddie Murphy being this completely overbearing, angry guy who is just so against Jonah Hill and never really gives him a chance. And I think it does an excellent job showing like the worst sides of both sides of the cultures, you know, and seeing them butt heads, and then having moments where the younger people in the movie who just want to be united and aren't interested in what separates people culturally, but are more interested in what can unite them as a culture, finally have that moment at the wedding rehearsal. They put their foot down respectively and say, look, well, you know, it's been too much. We've had enough. We've tried to be nice. We've tried to be respectful, but this is our decision. And like those are such nice moments. Now I think Eddie Murphy is fantastic in this role, and I'm not sure that I've seen him not many times in his career where he's been just kind of an angry dude, and not the guy who's very, very funny all the time. He does have really funny moments.
Hey, what's up with White Cuz? Am I White Cuz? Well, I'm not. I'm White Cuz for sure.
A lot of it is like really dry sense of humor and just like offhanded comments he'll make just kind of about Jonah Hill or about somebody in the room. He does have moments that are like genuinely funny. But it's a different kind of sense of humor. It's not a charismatic sense of humor that you're used to seeing from Eddie Murphy. And I thought it was a really good role for him. And I got to tell you, like I said, it was a roller coaster for me because I went from good to bad to good. But by the end of this movie, man, this thing captured me. And I thought that they did it so well. And I said it earlier, but in a world where everything that we get is so oversaturated in political commentary, it was so nice to see one that had the political commentary and like it had a social idea that it wanted to push across, but it didn't make either side the villain. Like both sides were villains in their own way, and both sides were right in their own way. And that to me is so much more realistic for how life is. Most people are just trying to do the right thing. Most people are not evil or hateful toward other people. I believe that. I believe even though we have different ideas in our lives about what is right and wrong, we are all collectively, for the most part, trying to do what is right. And so the real challenge is trying to figure out where we all come from in our respective ideas of what right is, and trying to bridge those gaps and say, okay, I get where you're coming from, but what about this? And having those conversations instead of just being like, you're different from me, so I hate you. And I thought that this movie really set up that conversation much better than I've seen it done in almost any other movie. Certainly any other movie that's been done recently and tried to tackle these sort of social commentary, political ideas. And I keep saying political. This movie wasn't really political, but the social and cultural aspect of this movie was done in the right way. It made fun of both sides. It really did, and that's what I appreciated about the film, and by the end of it, that's what drew me in. And then, once you get drew in by Lauren and Jonah Hill and their relationship together, and the comedy of Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill and some of the other members, you know, like Julia in this movie, their comedy draws you in. By the end of it, there's a real heartfelt message. To kind of wrap it up, I don't think that the commentary always landed. There were parts of it that I didn't like or that I thought they laid a little too heavy into, but that's also true for life. So I know why they did it, because there are circumstances where the most extreme things that could happen do happen in life sometimes. And so when you lay into cultural stereotypes, going heavy-handed with them kind of shows the worst of both sides, and then you can show that even through the worst of both sides, something good can come of it. And so I understand that too, and I try not to hold it against it. So even though there were moments that I found as I was watching them that I don't really care for this. I don't really care for what's going on right now. I understand by the end of the movie, those things were necessary to show what can be overcome in the end. And so, like, if you're looking for like a really funny movie, it's pretty funny. It made me laugh a few times, genuinely. If you're looking for like a heartwarming love story, it's got that too. If you're looking for a positive message instead of a negative one that deals with social and cultural themes, then this has that too. And beyond that, I feel that it covers those cultures in a fair way and showing the good and the bad from both sides and what can be done in some ways to kind of meet in the middle and understand each other and learn to love each other a little bit more, which is a message that I think the world in some places needs right now. But anyway, have you seen You People? Let me know what you thought about it. I thought it was quite good, and I'm giving You People a 95 overall. All right, did you see You People? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was funny? Did you enjoy the message? Did the relationships of those involved come off, speak some truth to you? Did it seem fairly real, fairly fair in how it showed kind of both sides of different cultures? What did you think about the movie? And let me know. Let me hear it in the comments below. I'd be very interested because this is it does have that social and cultural message to it. So there's obviously a lot of different sides from how people could take a film like that. And so I'd like to hear those thoughts down in the comments below if you're interested. If not, let me know in the comments something else another movie that you would like to see me review, or a video on YouTube you'd like to see me react to. I do a lot of reactions. Also, if you're interested in seeing me play the new Hogwarts game on YouTube, putting up 30 to 45, maybe an hour long worth of clips of my gameplay as I go through the game and, explore and learn. If you'd like to see that, let me hear it in the comments below. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Did you agree with me? Did you like You People, or did you not? Did you think it was horrible and my opinion about the movie was hot garbage? Let me know in the comments below. Just don't get mad. Remember, it's just one man's opinion. Thanks.